Hi, everybody. Good evening and welcome to another edition of the ACHA Power Play live here on the Captain Lou Sports Network on YouTube and, of course, on our Facebook page, which is the Captain Lou Extravaganza Facebook page. And as always, live on X at The Real Captain Lou. Happy December, everybody. We're getting towards the end of the marathon portion of our schedule here with this ACHA season 25-26. Then we get into the sprint after the holidays, and it's going to be a lot of fun as the road to St. Louis, again, is picking up another notch. And we've got a great show planned for you tonight. Season 10, Episode 9 of the ACHA Power Play. As momentarily we're going to be joined by the head coach of the Liberty Flames men's Division I team, Kirk Handy. After that, we're going to go through all the rankings, the big games coming up this weekend, and a whole lot more. So we hope to have you stay tuned with us here for the show. Again, our show, as always, is brought to you by the official secondary market of the Captain Lou Sports Network, and that is SeatGeek. There's a game you want to go to this weekend. The Lions, the Red Wings, whoever in the NHL, NFL, you name it. Go to SeatGeek. Use the promo code Captain Lou, and you get $20 off of your purchase. All right. Without any further ado, let's bring him in. He is the head coach of the Liberty Flames. Kirk Handy joining us. Kirk, thanks for taking time out to be with us. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, the pleasure's all ours. Great first start to the marathon part of the schedule. You had a good showing at the Maryville Showcase. 4 ranked teams down there. You guys, Calvin, Maryville, and Arizona. Always nice to get into some of those showcases to kind of see where you stack up, eh?
It's fantastic. It's a great opportunity to play 3 games in 3 days against all 3 teams who will be at the national tournament. And so for us, it's great to prepare our guys for the marathon that you're going to have at the tournament in March. So, yeah, it was great. I didn't like our performance first night against Maryville. I thought our power play kind of went stale. It was 0 for 6, and we gave up 3 power play goals. And that's usually never an opportunity to have a successful outcome when your special teams aren't strong. So we got that straightened out. I liked our second game and our third game. I thought we played a lot better as well.
Well, that's just a microcosm of your season, Kirk. I look at your schedule every year. You get the schedule, and you always schedule, the best of the best, really. You get Adrian for a couple of series. You've got Niagara, who's playing real well, Ohio. It just, that's just a small portion of the tough schedule that you have, but it always makes your boys battle tested when it comes to March.
Well, our challenge in front of us every year, since we're an independent team, is to try and create the best schedule in the country. And so we don't shy away from playing the best opponents. In fact, we embrace it. I tell our guys all the time, year after year, we ramp it up so the second half of the year is always more difficult than the first half of the year. And I'd rather go 500. I'd rather go, 7 wins, 5 losses in the spring semester, and know what it takes to play the best teams. We will play the number 1 team at some point this year. I'm convinced of that with the teams that we're playing this, not only mine out this weekend, but in weeks to come. We play Niagara and Maryville and Adrian again and Ohio 4 times. So I think we'll play the number 1 team. But in the meantime, we're going to play a lot of really, really top teams who will go a long way at the national tournament. And if we want to stack ourselves up against the best and to see where we measure up, it's important to play these games this time of year.
Is it difficult to get a schedule together as an independent, Kirk?
Do you know what? I wasn't sure what it was going to be like. When we came to Division I, we jumped into the ESCHL and had a wonderful experience there. I think as we started to establish our program a little more, and we started to establish what we were doing and the professionalism that we wanted to do things at, and the way that we wanted to do things from a university perspective, I think we want to create an awesome opportunity that teams want to come here and play because the environment they get to play in, because the way that we treat them, because of the opportunities to play great games against great opponents. So for us, I usually want to play the top teams 4 times, 2 there and 2 here. I just think it gives us a great opportunity to go in some of their environments, the Adrians, the Ohios, the Niagaras, the Maryville, those types of environments that are tough environments to play in. And you want to play them both on the road and at home. I think it really does give you a really good look come March when you really want to be playing at your best.
Now you've got this weekend, you've got Minot State coming up. And one of the cool things that I like that you guys do, you're going to have a Midnight Madness game Friday night, and then obviously the second of two on Saturday. That just builds to the fun for the fan experience too, for your games at La Jolla.
For sure. I thought these were a great idea when I was 35, but now at 50, I'm not sure how much I like them. No, all kidding aside, we used to do 3 and now we do 2. And they're great. They're great experiences for the visiting team. They're great experiences for the Liberty team. They're great experiences for the fans. They're great experiences for people who just watch it on ESPN Plus too. So there's it makes for a great sporting event. And I think that we all as coaches want to put our players in these great events, and these great environments.
Well, it helps too, I bet, with when you hit the recruiting trail, you can show some of these kids, the prospects or whatever, that, you got an opportunity to do fun things like this, play top-notch hockey against top-notch opponents in events like this.
100%. And we love playing the quality opponents in these games, right? You bring in Minot and they're ranked number 2, and it's going to be an absolutely a fantastic game. Yeah. It'll be 2 teams that there's a lot of mutual respect with both programs, who will work hard. And that's what you want. You want to see where you measure up against the best in the country.
Yeah. Well, then after that, you've got something that's coming up right after the first of the year. You and I talked a little bit about it on the phone over the weekend. You're taking the boys overseas for a little trip. Tell us a little bit about what you got coming up in January.
Well, one of the things that we love about Liberty, obviously the largest Christian school in the country, one of the things that we do is we want to use our faith and hockey as a way to impact those around us. And whether that's with the teams who come in, right, trying to earn the right, like we tell our guys all the time, to have them pray around the circle with us by the way that we play and by the way we compete. And we want to take that same opportunity and give our guys the same opportunity on the international stage. And we're going back to Finland. We've been there. This is our 3rd time we've been to Finland. We've over the years been to Sweden, Latvia, Russia, China. And we've really enjoyed being able to go these places and give our guys another cultural experience, but give them an opportunity to really showcase a platform that we believe God's given us to use to make a difference in the world around us. Those
are exciting things. The ACHA, when they take their all-star teams over there, some of these kids, this may be the only chance, and coaches for that matter, the only chance that you can go on a trip to experience something like this. This is a nice life event for them.
It was funny. I was just talking to one of our players just maybe an hour ago, and he's like, he just got his passport. And he's like, I've never been outside of North America. So, it's a great, opportunity for these guys. Something I tell people all the time, if you go back and ask our guys who've graduated and been on these trips and you tell them, give us your top 5 experience at Liberty, this is one of them. It's one of the experiences that they say, man, that was one of the experiences that I loved, and it was a great opportunity for me to go out and do something that I never do.
How many games are you guys going to play over there, Kirk?
Yeah, so we'll play 3 games. We're going over there with a group, Operation Mobilization, and we're going to play 3 games over there. We'll play against I think they're Division 3 pro team over there. Then we'll play one against the FCAA, the Finnish Collegiate Athletic Association All-Star team. Made of kind of the best players from all of Finland's collegiate programs. And then we're going to play against another college team from the FCAA for a 3rd game. So we'll get 3 games in when we're over there. And we're going from the 4th to January 13th. So over those 9 days, we'll play 3 times, probably practice 5 or 6 times as well. And then we'll be working a lot with local youth hockey programs. We'll be working a lot with the church and the partnership we have over there. We'll do some youth events and youth nights over there. And so we're really looking forward to giving our guys those opportunities as well on and off the ice.
Well, that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. How far in advance, or like when did you start planning this particular trip?
Yeah, so we try and go every 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Next year, the ladies team at Liberty is going to be going to the same spot in Finland. They've been once before. We're going to have them go again next year. So probably we'll go again in 2028, January 2028. It's kind of the next time that we'll head back over there. And I always tell our guys at least one time over their 4 years, we want them to go. Some guys get an opportunity to go twice. A lot of guys on our team who were here last time are going to get an opportunity to go again this January, which is awesome.
So I'm taking a look at your roster. You talked about one of your boys saying they've never been out of North America. Your roster is pretty much North America from Las Vegas area to, I don't know how you got your guy from Minot to come there. That's awesome. and then up in Canada, Ontario, Saskatchewan, all over. It's a nice mix of players from all around the continent.
Yeah, it is. It's funny over the years. When I first started coaching 26 years ago, I think probably 85% of our roster was Canadian. That's kind of dwindled down with the Canadian dollar kind of going the wrong direction, unfortunately. But we've just been real blessed. I tell people all the time, you talk about Cox Smith from Minot.
Yeah.
Our best recruiters are our players, right? And the experience they've had here, and they share that with their friends, and they come as well. But for a lot of these guys, it'll be the first time out in North America. If they've been out in North America, it'll be the first time they've played hockey out in North America. So even if they have been out in North America, it'll be the first time that most of them will have played hockey outside North America.
I look at how well your team has done this year, and I look at your stats. So balanced up and down the roster, Kirk. I mean, you've got one of your defensemen, Nicholas Pomerleau, is right up there with 19 points, right up amongst the leaders. It's a nice mix, it looks like, for you guys.
Yeah, so great recruiting strategy with Nick Pomerleau. We actually brought him in to play on our Division II team. He never played one game at tryouts. He went down to play Division II, and we had some injuries before our first game, and he's never gone back to Division II. So, wow. Great recruiting on our end. We certainly almost missed Nick, who's been a wonderful player for us for these years he's been at Liberty. But the balanced attack and the scoring we have over the four lines has been one of our keys. And when you can't pinpoint one line of who's going to be at their best game to game, I think you're in a really good spot. And that's been one of the keys to our success this year.
And you talk to a lot of teams, and they say that with the balance. And when you can roll out four lines, it's just got to make it so much easier for you, right?
Yeah, it does. And I could go up and down our lineup and just say, like, some of the guys on our fourth line, we have a guy, Cal Essemacher, who's centering our fourth line right now, and he's upper third on scoring, and he's not on power play or PK. He's on PK, but he's not on power play. And so you just think, like, man, he's scoring a lot of goals 5-on-5, right? He's doing a lot of things right for us. And I tell people all the time, we want guys to come here to work hard, and we want them to have fun and enjoy the journey, right? I think those are key parts of it. I want them to love coming to the rink every day. I want them to see the place when they come to the rink as a place where we're going to push them, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. And we're going to have great relationships with our players, and we want to be transformational coaches, right? That doesn't mean that we get it right all the time, but we want to develop relationships with players on and off the ice. So whether they're our first forward or our 15th forward, we want them to know that they're loved and cared for each and every time that they show up at the rink.
And then, your goalie tandem, you've got two really good goalies. I mean, Conrad Kausch, I had a chance to talk with him last year in St. Louis, just a fine young man. And Nick Bernstein he's right there with you too. So you got two that you can go to without hesitation, it looks like.
Yeah. And both those guys have really, really given us great goaltending. I can only remember one time with each guy this year where they probably didn't have their best outing, and you're liable to have that. Oh, yeah. But the opportunity to put both of them in net, to have them battle with each other, to have our guys have the confidence to know whether it's Nick or Conrad in net, we're going to get great goaltending.
Yeah. I look Kirk, I look back at your career as a coach, and I looked at your bio when you were a jack of all trades, and how far that the Liberty program has come. And it's kind of what stuck out to me. It's kind of hand in hand. The ACHA has grown so much in the over decade that I've been covering it, and I'm sure even longer since you started coaching. What's been the biggest difference, really, with the ACHA, maybe in the style of play over the last, almost 20 years?
Well, the quality of players and the professionalism that the ACHA has been run at year after year. If you look back, when I was playing 30 years ago to when I started coaching 26 years ago to 15 years ago to, and I think we also, we're a Division II team, and then we moved to Division I, and just, wanting to push your program against I tell people all the time, listen, I love it when UNLV brings in great recruits or Adrian brings, because it motivates me to find better guys. It motivates me to increase my professionalism on my end, our intentionalism on who we're bringing in and all that stuff. So I think really the ACHA has done a wonderful job growing, and the competition, has made everyone better. It used to be if you were in the top 5, there was no chance anyone outside the top 5 was winning a national championship. It just wasn't happening. Yeah. And really, for years, the Penn States, the Towsons, the Delawares, the Iowa States, they kind of ruled the landscape. And then you start to kind of see over the years these air teams kind of develop. And really, the year we came up in 07, when Oakland went from winning at the ACHA Division II level to when they went to ACHA Division I level, they won again the next year. And that was really like a kind of an interesting perspective for us, because we had played them in Division II national championship game in 06 and lost in double overtime.
Oh, man.
So we lose there, and then we both moved to Division I, and we both made a great run. I think we made to the Final Four that year, and they went to finals. So, again, it really you start to see more and more teams jump in the mix with the Penn States and the Arizona States and over the past few years. And then as those teams have elevated their programs to Division I, we've seen the Maryvilles and the Niagaras reassert themselves, and the Adrians come through, and Calvins. And it's been a lot of fun to kind of see the quality of the teams and the competition in ACHA Division I. But I'd also say ACHA Division II and Division III as well.
Oh, it all the definitely. I've noticed that the quality of play is improved tenfold, and I think, in my opinion, too, and especially in the last 5 years, maybe the ACHA has done such a wonderful job at how they market it to get the players to come here. Maybe more so pushing you can get a great education, and really emphasize that, and a great quality of life, and play a great brand of hockey. I think they really have tied all 3 of those aspects in together.
Well, and I if we're being honest, I think what ended up happening was the brand was kind of painted with the brush of being kind of like, we're going to show up at the rink in whatever gear we've got and mismatch helmets. We don't have a coach. We're going to go out and party all night and then show up the next day and play, right? And as they've kind of got away from that, as the divisions have got stronger, and then they've separated them out to Division I, II, and III, I really believe that that's been a key element of saying teams, no, if you want to be more, if you want to run a more professional organization, then you go to Division II. You want to do it, then you go to Division I, and the standards are higher, and the competition's higher, and that's really fueled everyone to get better.
What do you do on your free time, Kirk? Do you have any?
Well, I serve as a vice president here at Liberty, and really enjoy what I do here. I oversee the club sports department. I'm the athletics director over that, but I have wonderful staff who work for me. And I usually just, to be honest with you, my wife and I usually just chase our 4 kids around, our 4 sons around. So that's usually what I do in my free time.
So I've always wondered this, when you guys go on road trips, and I've always wanted to ask a coach this. Is there a favorite restaurant or a type of restaurant you ever want to go to? You want to sneak out when you think you might have an hour or two to get for a guilty pleasure?
Well, I don't know, but if you ask any of the players on our team, I think they'd say, he likes Starbucks, and I usually make the bus stop there a few times. But yeah, no, it depends if it's after a game. You might get a burger and fries or something like that. But I usually have to watch what I eat now. I didn't have to watch what I ate 26 years ago, but now I'm having to watch what I eat, unfortunately. So,
well, welcome to the world of advanced adulthood. We'll just
exactly.
Right? I got to try to watch what I eat too. My wife, God bless her, we're working on it. But even at 60, Kirk, it's tough for me to go buy Culver's without getting a double cheeseburger, man.
That's right.
So who was your favorite team growing up, NHL?
Yeah, Toronto. I grew up 2 hours north of Toronto, and still this day I'm a diehard Maple Leaf fan. I tell everyone, come the second round of the playoffs, I usually have to find another team to cheer for because my team's usually exited out. So, I've really grown to love the Carolina Hurricanes. Toronto's my first love, but I really enjoy the way Carolina plays. We actually had Jacob Slavin up to speak in our chapel at our school earlier this year, and he spoke in front of our 10,000 students at the chapel, and it was great. And we've had opportunity. Rod Brindamore's son is a 2011, so he's played on a Fellowship of Christian Athletes team with my son, my third son, Price. So I just admire what Carolina does. They don't have a lot of money, and they seem to bring out They seem, if a guy's a 7 out of 10, he seems to bring that 7 out of 10 every night. And that's what I love about the way that they play. But I'd say I'm a hockey lover. I love watching great hockey. So wherever I can find, I'm looking forward to the Olympics this year and seeing the best of the best there.
Oh, I can't wait for that either. And talk about the best of the best. You've got a matchup this weekend of the best with you and Minot State. Kirk, that's going to be a lot of fun to keep an eye on. I know I'll be watching it. I've got a pretty good weekend set up with up here in Grand Rapids. We've got Calvin and Hope renewing a rivalry.
Oh, nice.
And then Grand Valley and Davenport. It's the little Grand Rapids Hall of Fame tournament, but it's always great hockey. But again, to your point earlier, it's the talent level and the great games every weekend around the country.
Well, I was gonna say, Niagara's playing Ohio this weekend,
wow.
1-2, and also Missouri State's playing Drury, and they play out of the same building. So, listen, the people in St. Louis, when we were at that showcase, had their eyes on what was going on in Chicago, and the Chicago people had their eyes on what was going on in St. Louis. So, everyone, I believe deep down is a fan of ACHA hockey. I enjoy, and one of the things that I enjoy is the wonderful relationships I have with other coaches. And, you speak of Calvin, we got a wonderful relationship with them. And it's been a lot of fun over the years, with Davenports and Maryvilles and Minots and Adrian, Gary, and I have a wonderful relationship. It's been a lot of fun to kind of, compete against those guys and to see us grow, right? To see them grow and us grow together. So it's been one of the highlights for sure of coaching hockey are the relationships we have with coaches around the country as well.
So what is it? Last question for you. What is it going to mean to you when you get your 500th victory?
Oh, I don't, to be honest with you, it's a credit to every player who's played here. It's a credit to the university who believed in a 25-year-old guy who really had a lot of energy and not a lot of I didn't have a big plan on what we were going to do. But they kind of believed in it and kind of grown along with it here at the university. We didn't, I tell people all the time, when we started, I was playing an hour away. And when I started coaching, we were playing an hour away from campus. So we always haven't had a rink on campus. And the 500 victories, if we get there, is going to be something that there's a lot of people here at the school, a lot of coaches who coached me, a lot of players who have been here, and a lot of donors and sponsors who have believed in us, right? And it's not about me. It's never been about me. It's about, the opportunity that God's given me to coach here, and super thankful for it.
Well, Kirk, this has been an absolute treat. I'll let you get going so you can catch up with whatever it is you need to do tonight. Good luck this weekend against Wyatt and Minot State. And then, have a safe trip over in Finland, and can't wait to meet back up with you next year in St. Louis, or who knows, maybe we'll make a trip to Liberty again, maybe to do another preview show.
That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Lou. Appreciate you.
All right, Kirk, thank you very much. Have a good week and have a happy holiday.
You too.
Kirk Handy, the head coach of the Liberty Flames, the men's Division I team, currently ranked 8th in the country. And as we mentioned, they've got a beauty of a matchup this weekend. We talked about it. They've got a back-to-back Midnight Madness, Friday night, 11:59 puck drop, and then Saturday night, 7 o'clock on ESPN Plus against the number 2 team in the country in Minot State. And I had a chance to watch Wyatt Wasylenchuk's Minot State Beavers at the Chicago Classic. They went 3-0, and they're looking definitely like one of the top teams in the country. So it's going to be a great weekend of hockey. If you get a chance, watch it this weekend on ESPN Plus with Liberty and Minot. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to go through the rankings and talk about some of the big matchups we got coming up this weekend in the ACHA. As we are in December, that means we are about 3 months and change away from puck drop of the 2026 National Tournament. We'll be right back here on the ACHA Power Play. Hi, everybody. Captain Lou here. Hey, is there a ball game you want to go to last minute? How about the Spartans at Spartan Stadium? Go to the Big House to watch the Wolverines. Is there an NFL game you want to go to? Lambeau Field, Ford Field, wherever, Baltimore. How about the Tigers for the pennant drive? Well, go to SeatGeek. Get those tickets there. Use the promo code Captain Lou right on the screen, and you'll get $20 off of your purchase. It's that simple. So go to the Spartan game. Go to the Big House. But use the promo code Captain Lou at SeatGeek, and you'll be all set. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the ACHA Power Play. Again, many thanks to Kirk Handy, the head coach of the Liberty Flames men's D1 program, and he's built such a great program at the D1 level, and that whole Liberty Flame hockey organization at the D2 and D3 level, and of course the women's D1 team, the defending national champions, and they're ranked number 1 in the country. They're right up there. So great to be able to catch up with Kirk, as they've got a big weekend set with Minot State coming up Friday night, as we mentioned, and Saturday. And then after the break, when they come back from Finland, they've got 2 with Adrian. I think they've got 2 with Niagara, Maryville. Then they got 4 with Ohio. So, I mean, they go right from the frying pan into the fire. But again, I don't know a coach that wouldn't want that kind of schedule, because it gets them battle tested for when they head down to St. Louis for the national tournament. And I've got a pretty strong feeling that they're going to be there again to chase for the Murdoch Cup come the middle of March in 2026. So again, thanks to Kirk for jumping on board here tonight on the ACHA Power Play. All right, let's get to the rankings, as we like to always do. Let's see how quick we can go through them. The latest rankings, the newest ones will be out next week, but these are as of last week before Thanksgiving. And again, the top team in the land is Tom Meridian's Niagara team. They're at number 1. Then you've got Minot at 2, Ohio at 3, Nevada, Las Vegas at 4, Drury at 5, Adrian is at 6. Then you've got Jamestown at 7, Liberty at 8, and Maryville at 9, and Calvin at 10. In the second 10, you've got Mary at 11, Utah at 12, Grand Canyon at 13. Then you've got Hope College at 14, Arizona at 15, Purdue Northwest at 16, Pittsburgh at 17, Stony Brook at 18, Cleary at 19, their best ranking ever. Congratulations to them. Out of the WAC Conference, Indiana U of Pennsylvania at 20, Missouri State at 21, Indiana Tech at 22, Grand Valley at 23, Midland and Arizona State, new to the rankings this week, at 24 and 25. Arizona State, a fine showing at the Chicago Classic, along with a lot of the other teams that went there: Jamestown, Ohio, Minot, Westchester, you name it. Purdue Northwest had a great weekend. Just Utah, Mary, just so many big teams there. And as Kirk mentioned, also at the Maryville Classic Showcase, they had Calvin, Liberty, Arizona, and Maryville. So there's the 4 teams: Maryville, Calvin, Liberty, Arizona. The 4 teams playing in a round robin weekend. So some great talented teams there throughout the weekend. In men's Division 2, now I don't need my glasses. I brought them down, but I've got a better look at the rankings here. So let's go through them real quick. In the Southeast, the number 1 team is Florida Gulf Coast. And then you've got Tampa at 2, Ohio at 3, Penn State at 4, Indiana 5, Ohio State at 6, South Carolina 7, Liberty 8, Tennessee 9, Georgia 10, Florida Atlantic 11, North Carolina Wilmington at 12, Miami 13, Rowan 14, Florida at 15, and Virginia Tech 16. What the importance, and we talk about it all the time, but it's new this year with the D2 regionals coming up in February, is that there are no auto bids anymore for Division 2. So it's 1 through 16 go to each of the regions for the 2-day qualifying tournament to get the 4 spots to go to nationals in St. Louis. Out in the West, you've got Oklahoma State still at number 1, Weber State at 2, Montana State at 3, Utah State at 4, Providence at 5, Utah 6, Colorado 7, Cal Berkeley at 8, Boise at 9, New Mexico at 10, Denver 11, Arizona State 12, Montana 13, Texas A&M 14, Southern Methodist 15, and Washington at 16. So those would be your qualifiers. In the Central, you've got the defending national champion, Gary Gardner's Lindenwood team. They're at number 1. Then at number 2, you got St. Thomas. Then you got Minnesota at 3, Wisconsin at 4, Schoolcraft at 5, Maryville 6, Concordia at 7, Mankato at 8, Michigan State at 9, Minnesota Crookston at 10, Purdue Northwest at 11, Sioux College at 12, Marion at 13, Adrian at 14, Tyler Cataline's team bumping up in the rankings at 14, Arkansas 15, and Missouri at 16. And then finally, in the Northeast, you've got Niagara at number 1. Boy, I tell you what, with their women's team and their 2 men's teams at D1 and D2, really, they've built quite a program there at Niagara. They're at number 1. Farmingdale State, Joe Mazey's team at 2, St. Bonaventure at 3, UMass Amherst at 4, Binghamton at 5, RPI at 6, Army at 7, Brockport at 8, Fairfield at 9, Westchester at 10, Connecticut College at 11, Siena 12, Northeastern 13, Boston College 14, Sacred Heart at 15, and Boston U at 16. So those are your rankings in D2. I know it's kind of long-winded, but those are the teams to look for. As I know the rankings will fluctuate as we get closer to the regional tournaments, but the top 16 teams in each region play in a regional tournament to determine the final 4 out of each region to go to the national tournament to pool play. So these regional tournaments it's single elimination. It's like it's win or go home. It's that simple. And again, the difference is there are no auto bids in Division 2. Division 3, the latest rankings are out. Their next rankings will probably be out, I would say, probably in the next day or 2. But the latest ones that we've got, anyways, in Division 3 are Middle Tennessee State still at number 1, Oakland at 2, South Florida at 3, Tampa at 4, Calvin at 5, Omaha at 6. Congratulations to them, by the way, for winning the Big Ten Classic in Division 2. Or Division 3, rather, as Ohio State won in Division 2. Central Maine Community College at 7, Air Force at 8, St. Vincent at 9, Dordt at 10, South Carolina at 11, Grand Valley at 12, Northwood at 13, Michigan State at 14, Clemson at 15, and UMass at 16. Women's Division 1. The rankings there, I'm going to need the glasses for this one. All right, there we go. Liberty, the defending champs, they're back at number 1. Midland at 2, McKendree at 3, Maryville at 4. Then you've got Michigan Dearborn at 5, Minot at 6, Adrian at 7, Niagara at 8, Arizona State at 9, Jamestown at 10, Miami at 11, and UMass at 12. The top 12 teams making into the national tournament. There's 3 auto bids involved in that as well. So that means that you're probably to be safe, obviously, you want to be in the top 9 to get yourself a spot down in St. Louis for the Nationals. Just like Division I, I believe there's 8 auto bids, maybe 9. I have to double check on that. So with the men's rankings, you want to be safe. You probably want to be around number 19, 18, 19, because obviously some of the highly ranked teams will get the auto bids out of their conference. But I mean, that's kind of women's Division I. You want to be probably in the top 9. So, and finally in Division II, this is where I really need the classes. Sioux College at 1, Central Michigan at 2, and it's Northern at 3, and Ohio State at 4. In women's Northeast, you've got Boston College 1, Providence College 2, Northeastern 3, Boston U 4, Sacred Heart 5. In the Southeast, Villanova at number 1, Liberty 2, the Navy at 3, Rowan at 4, Delaware at 5, High Point at 6. And in the women's Western Division, the rankings, St. Thomas at 1, Assiniboine at 2, Maryville at 3, Wisconsin at 4, and Dakota College at 5. And so, again, it's pool play for women's D2. It's pool play for men's D3 at the national tournament, women's D1. The only division that does not have the pool play is at men's 1. That is single elimination. And so it's they've got the first round buys. The top 8 schools get the first round bye. And so and then obviously with the 2014 play, then after that, it's all bracketed. It's single elimination too as well. So those are your rankings right now in men's division, in all the 5 divisions, 1, 2, and 3 in the women's D1 and in D2. All right, let's see what we can start out with. Let's look at some of the big games coming up this weekend as we wrap it up here this afternoon, or tonight rather, for the ACHA Power Play. This weekend already, tomorrow, 7 o'clock, the University of Mary is going to take on Jamestown, number 11 against number 9. That's going to be a dandy matchup right there. Those two teams always, it's like a slobber knocker there for them. On Thursday, Purdue Northwest, they're ranked 14th, I believe. Adrian is at 6. They're going to do battle with each other. Grand Valley and Davenport on Friday are going to be part of the Grand Rapids Sports Hall of Fame tournament. And in the other bracket, it's going to be Hope and Calvin doing battle in a crosstown. Big rivalry. Those two schools are such rivals in all sports. Long standing rivalry. It's such a fun rivalry. You name the sport, those two teams, it's must see. It'll be standing room only for that game, 8 o'clock on Friday night. Northwood's going to be playing John Carroll. Some of the other ones, Niagara against Ohio, 1 versus 3. So that's a big matchup. Drury and Missouri State, another monster matchup. So again, there's so many big matchups. And of course, we talked about it earlier with Kirk Handy. Liberty and Minot going to hook up for a weekend set. So many big games. Oklahoma and Central Oklahoma, Westchester and George Mason. The list goes on and on. So many huge games. Midland and Mary doing battle on Friday. Arizona State and Arizona, 2 more ranked teams doing battle this weekend. And so, yeah, it's huge. And then same thing on Saturday. Most of the teams, again, playing the second of 2. Big matchup in the WAC is it's going to be Michigan Dearborn and Lawrence Tech doing battle. And again, you've got the rematches with Niagara and Ohio, Minot and Liberty, Missouri State and Drury. Just big, huge matchups this weekend coming up. And then on Sunday, there's going to be a few more games, Rhode Island and Oswego State, huge matchup there. So those are some of the big games this weekend in men's Division I. Let's see if we can bring up. Let's see here if I can get some of the games in women's Division I coming up this weekend. Arizona and Adrian, they're going to do battle on Thursday. So that's going to be a big matchup. Midland and Minot, another huge weekend matchup for them. Niagara and Michigan Dearborn, 2 ranked teams. Dearborn having a great year. Niagara ranked right up there. And Quattro's team just doing fantastic again this year. Some of the other games to kind of keep an eye on, again, Saturday rematches with those. So some big matchups, Maryville and Lindenwood this weekend in women's Division I. huge matchups right there. And then you got Adrian and Michigan State doing battle on Sunday. So yeah, Arizona and Eastern Michigan. So big matchups right now in women's Division I. We'll keep an eye on that. In men's Division II, we've got some big matchups as well. Crookston against St. John's, Minnesota Duluth and Jamestown. So many big matchups this weekend. Saginaw Valley's D1 team against Schoolcraft. Texas Christian and Baylor. Big matchup there. Indiana Tech and Michigan State. A lot of big matchups in men's Division II. In men's Division III, we can bring those up real quick. All right. Tomorrow night, Northwood and Calvin doing battle in a battle of top 16 teams at Calvin. They're going to have a rematch on Saturday afternoon. Maine and Colby College doing battle on Thursday. Again, just looking down some of the list of some of the other games. Butler and Miami, Oakland and Grand Valley. Oakland really turning their program around, right up there in the top of the rankings. Farmingdale State at Sacred Heart. Ohio State and Trine, just to name a few. Fordham and Fairfield, that's always a big matchup. Dort and Kansas. So some big matchups there in men's Division III. And finally, in women's Division II, let's see if we can. Central Michigan and Sioux College, two big ranked teams Saturday. Friday and Saturday, they're going to do battle up north. So up on the other side of the border. So big matchups there. Illinois and Aurora doing battle. There's so many great matchups this weekend in all 5 divisions as we get closer to crunch time with the road to St. Louis. Now, the marathon part of the schedule is just about over. We talked about it. Everybody's going to break for the holidays. And then when it comes time after the holidays in January, the focus is right there. You've got about a month or so left of the regular season, and then it gets to playoff time, conference championship time, jockeying for those final positions in the rankings. The teams that are up on top can start making their plans for St. Louis. Some of the teams, like in some of the other, like in men's too, they can start planning for the regionals, women's D2, women's D1 conference tournaments, to kind of get themselves, maybe if they need that conference win to get the auto berth. So much to look forward to in the sprint portion of the schedule, which is coming up in January and then February. And then we're there. Then we're in March and we're in St. Louis for another national tournament run. So, yeah, this is getting exciting here for the ACHA with everything going on. And, it really is going to be fun to keep an eye on coming up in 2026. All right, well, that's going to do it here for tonight. Again, I want to thank Kirk Handy for joining us, men's Division I Liberty head coach. They're going to Finland for a outreach tournament, 3 games in January. But before that, they've got themselves a big weekend matchup with Minot, ESPN Plus Friday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, and then Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. 2 big weekend games there. So many matchups with ranked teams, especially men's Division I and women's D1. Just keep an eye on achahockey.org. All the scores will be there. Check out their Twitter feeds. They'll have updates as well throughout the weekend. All right, that's going to do it. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out to welcome us into your homes, on your computers, on your laptops, however you watched us around the world right here on the ACHA Power Play on the Captain Lou Sports Network. Until next week, we'll have another great program, episode 10, season 10 of the ACHA Power Play. Great guests will be lined up. Until then, Captain Lou saying keep your heads up, keep your sticks down, keep your feet moving, and as always, keep your minds open. So long.